guys, what's up? It's Ansley. Welcome back for another video. You know we're in the chair today. You know what that means? It means something special is going on. When we did our chat video before, you guys requested that maybe we could do some paranormal story times in this chair. And boy, do I have a story for you today. I've been in the paranormal field for a long time. I've had a lot of experiences with a lot of different spirits and entities and just various things out there. But I've never had something like this happen before, and this is not to be clickbaity or anything. That is the genuine truth. I've been on all the forums online. I've been looking in my books, trying to get answers about this. There seems to be mixed experiences, but it does seem to be something that other people have encountered as well. But I'm bringing this to you guys because I don't really know what it is myself. With that said, guys, go ahead and grab a cup of tea. We're gonna sit down and do some paranormal story time today. Okay, guys, we're gonna do a little bit of a bingo here of the red flags that Ansley ignored. The first one. Okay, so this experience has been going on for about 2 weeks, almost every day, but not every day. And basically I had been hearing clapping outside really late at night. Like, this was like 2 in the morning, late at night. And my dog needed to go out. And so I let her out and I was out there with her, and it sounded like someone was 5 feet away from me clapping. And that was pretty scary to hear, because you don't know what lurks in the dark outside aside from the paranormal. And so that did freak me out. And I didn't think it was related to this until I started having other experiences. My window's open in the summer, keep things cool, and I have a window that faces my bed, and I usually have the curtains closed and everything, but I was laying in bed and it was pretty quiet. It was pretty late at night, so everyone had gone to sleep, and I heard this strange noise outside. Like, it sounded like something was outside my window making noise. And so logically I'm like, oh, it's probably just an animal. There's a lot of wildlife around here. And so I'm laying there, and even through the TV noise, I started to hear this humming. And almost like a whispering or a singing too, but I couldn't make out any of the words. I just knew there was something. And so I paused the TV and it stopped. And so I was thinking perhaps it's something on the TV and I just didn't catch it. That was my first mistake. Then I continued to watch TV, and then I could hear it again, and I paused it. Nothing. So I'm getting a little weirded out now. There's a strange vibe, and I'm wondering what it is because I'm not super close to anybody, live out more in the naturey country area. There's not anybody that should be right there to where I'd be hearing it. And this sounded like it was right against my window, but simultaneously also sounded like it was miles away, which was the weird thing. And the other weird thing about it was that it sounded almost metallic-y. Like it was, I don't know, some kind of, like it was a voice going through some sort of machine or something. Heard it again, and I paused the TV this time, and I heard it right outside the window. And that's when I knew it was not on the TV, but I was in fact hearing something. So then I started to hear this strange whistling sound, almost like a mechanical sound to it, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but it just didn't sound human. And I wasn't the only one that heard this. My cat and my dog reacted to it, so I knew we were all sensing something. My cat got up to go and check it out too. I stood and I looked out the window. I did not see anything, but it felt like something was there. I am the kind of person that wonders about these things, and so I kept it in my mind going that this could possibly be something, but I also, from years of paranormal investigating, also try to debunk things. And I'm thinking maybe somehow a voice is carrying from somebody in the distance, or, neighbors in the distance or something. And so I kind of just brushed it off and carried on. And that would be the second red flag. And then the next night it happened again, and it was the same thing over again. And this continued for multiple nights. And each time I could feel a strange presence at the window, and I could hear something walking around outside, and just like something was moving slowly outside back and forth. And then this part of the experience, I would say, is the creepiest. A couple nights later, I was sitting downstairs. I was sitting in a different area of my house than where this was happening each night, and I was sitting there and I heard something at the window again. This is a different window. and my cat reacted to it, and it sounded like there was something walking by the window again, but it's like a very slow pace, like a and I have cameras around that go off and record automatically if there is something walking by or any motion is detected. And so I have a camera right by that window, and I turned around and looked at it, and I could see through the curtain that the light was on outside. So there was something being caught moving out there. I went and looked out the window and I didn't see anything. And I immediately went and checked for the recorded video. And this is the first time this has ever happened to me with the cameras, but it only had the light go off and did not record a video. These cameras are set to automatically record when the motion light goes off. So it didn't make sense that it didn't record that. I made sure the camera was working. It had recorded things earlier in the day and also the next day as well. This time I heard something walking by, and it sounded big, and also, I don't know if this is weird to say, but it sounded very tall, and that strange vibe was there. And of course you're going to get a creeped out vibe when you hear things walking around outside your house anyway, but it's a different kind of vibe in there, but it just felt heavy. And I kept getting the feeling that I was being watched. And of course I always think, maybe there was a glitch or something with the camera, but I've never had that glitch before, and I've had these cameras for years. And so it makes me think somehow it didn't show up on there, but the motion light still detected it. Third red flag. I didn't actually ignore these things. I was taking note of each thing that happened, but it was just small things that kept happening each day, like things that only took up a couple minutes of my day, and I was slowly wondering what they meant. And so after that experience, that same night, I was getting ready for bed, and I have a window in my bathroom. And I was brushing my teeth, and the window was open, and I'm sitting there, and I heard something approach the window again, very slowly, like it was creeping up to it. And I slowly turned to look at the window, and I swear I could feel a presence pressed against that window, like it was just... Once again, I looked outside. There's nothing there. There's no, random person somehow, or an animal or anything. There's just nothing there. So I closed that window. The weird thing is, I have not felt this presence in my house. It feels like it's strictly outside, and like it's just watching. So over the last 2 weeks, these kind of encounters have repeated, of hearing whistling or a humming, just feeling a presence lurking outside, feeling something at the windows, and just getting a generally weird vibe that something is watching me. And so last night I had a dream, and this is the first dream I've had that I feel had this entity, whatever it is, in it. And this dream, basically, it was at the window that is near my bed. And in that dream, I remember sitting up in bed and looking, and at the window I saw this strange figure, but it didn't look like a traditional shadow figure. And it had, rough edges. I would describe as a similar shape of, like, if you've seen Spirited Away, a similar shape to No Face, but not very human looking. And it had piercing white eyes and a piercing white, almost like sharp-toothed smile, but it's almost like it was glowing, and so were the eyes. And it was just sitting there looking at me through the window and smiling. Now that sounds really disturbing, and I don't want to freak anyone out, but I woke up and I did not feel scared. I've had a lot of spirits in my room and stuff at night over the years, and usually if there is some sort of presence in my house, I will wake up in a panic and I will know. This time, even though it wasn't in my house, I woke up and I felt pretty calm, which was strange. And the weird thing is, each night I have to let Cleo out to go potty before we go to bed. And I let her out in the backyard where I've been experiencing this feeling of the shadow at my window. I'm standing out there each night with the flashlight, and I swear it feels like the presence is out there, but it takes a step back. And I don't know what that means. Like, I feel like, I don't know if it's necessarily like afraid of me, but it gets back. And it just stays back, and it doesn't feel like it's trying to attack. It just feels like it's watching. That is my story. That is what's been going on for me lately, and I just don't know. So either way, that's a big red flag for me, that I need to up that protection. I don't want anything getting in. I don't know what the intentions of this entity are, but it doesn't seem like it would be a friendly spirit considering how it is presenting itself to me and how it seems to just keep lurking. But like I said, I've never encountered a shadow with quite the same characteristics, and I've never encountered a shadow with white eyes. So I'm curious to know if you guys have, because I know I have a lot of other people that have a lot of experiences out there, a lot of other paranormal investigators and such out there as well. So if you've heard of anything like that or experienced anything similar, I would love to hear about it and see what you think. I am okay though, no need to worry. I'm protecting myself and doing extra things to take precautions for it. I'm going to do some things outside my house as well to try to protect the land more also, but very strange experience and I'm not sure what's going on. But I will be sure to keep you guys updated if this continues or if anything else develops. Anyway, that was my video, guys. Hopefully it wasn't too spooky for you, but I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know what you think. If you think this is some sort of spirit, some sort of cryptid, I don't even know. But it's a very strange thing in general, and I'm curious what you think. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!